Northwestern went 7-6 last year after winning the last ever Game Above Sports Bowl, which they announced back in February. They're going to discontinue. Yeah.
Too bad.
All the greats going by the wayside here. 2026 is a monster year for Northwestern. There's sort of no other way to put it. They are scheduled to open their new stadium, which is Ryan Field, Dan.
Is it the Ryan Arena?
It's a field. October the 2nd, Friday night game against Penn State. I actually just played this game in College Football 27 as Penn State, and I lost. So I don't know if that means anything to you, but perhaps you're someone who looks for signs in the universe. That could be one of them.
Okay.
David Braun very much this offseason acted like the type of guy who understood the excitement. He played directly into it by hiring our old friend Charles Chip Kelly to run the offense. Mm-hmm. They also hired some Kelly deputies and Jerry Neuheisel, his beautiful blonde hair.
Tim Drevno coming over.
Tim Drevno trying to coach the line. Bob Bicknell going to run the tight end room. Mm-hmm. The over-under here for Northwestern is 5.5. I am super intrigued by this one.
In which direction?
A, I don't think they have enough along the line to run the type of system that Chip wants to run. Chip's system is fairly run-heavy, but I think based on the personnel they have in place, they might be able to get close. It's not going to be a full Chip experience, but even if it's like 70%,
right,
that could be interesting. Aidan Chiles is the new quarterback, comes over from Michigan State, who we just talked about. Before we get too crazy, I would say that Aidan Chiles absolutely has physical tools that we're excited about. We just have not seen any of that stuff come to fruition. It's still a big waiting game to see if Aidan Chiles is going to be the Aidan Chiles we thought we were getting when he was recruited initially to Oregon State with Jonathan Smith. This is a system that is probably better for him, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of quick reads and tempo and using his mobility.
Okay.
They do need to solve the ball security issues that he has definitely had some fumbleitis over these last couple of years when it comes to handing the ball off. But my question is ball security and line play in a Chip system that, again, probably favors the run more than the pass. I am intrigued by what they have around Aidan Chiles, though. I'm intrigued. I think they can run the ball.
Yeah.
Provided the line isn't a disaster. I think they've got Griffin Wilde out wide, who might be one of the better wide receivers in the conference. Again, maybe capped a bit by the line, but the personnel is a little bit better than I expected.
Yeah.
And I'd layer on top of all of that I feel pretty good about the defense. I don't know what the pass rush looks like, but they look fairly solid to me across the board, especially in the back. The problem is the schedule. This schedule, man, 6th hardest in college football. They've got road games against the Big Three in the Big Ten, Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State. They also go to Minnesota and Illinois, in addition to having both Penn State and Iowa at home. So this is a very, very difficult schedule with very real line questions, a quarterback who's a bit turnover prone, and I'm trying to be nice here.
Yep.
A bit turnover prone, and a bunch of moving pieces, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So if it works, it's going to be one of the better stories in college football. If it doesn't, unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a disappointment as they open up the new stadium.
Yeah. Look, they hired 2024's best offensive coordinator in the sport, or at least who won the most games.
Right.
You mentioned that like they're not going to necessarily have the talent in place to run what Chip Kelly ideally would like to run. He had some bad offenses at UCLA, and he had some really strong offenses at UCLA, only strong at Oregon. He'll know what he does and doesn't have. I think the architecture will be sound for this offense. I think Northwestern will come as close as humanly possible to maximizing what they have. If you hired 1,000 different offensive coordinators, Chip Kelly would be in the 0.1% of successful 2026s. I don't think he's going to try to run the ball behind a bad left guard or throw swing passes or something to a running back who can't catch or throw it deep to a receiver who can't win 50-50 balls. Like, the decision making will be sound. I think it's a question of like interceptions, quick reads, and an offensive line that's more dependable than it looks on the outset right now. So I feel fine about the offense. I think the offense will improve, and I think the defense will be okay. But as you mentioned, schedule's brutal.
No.
And against brutal schedules, teams can win with depth, with obvious star power, with dependable quarterbacks. Northwestern's not checking a lot of those boxes, as nice as this new stadium is going to be.
Right.
David Braun does win games. Like, we should he was like the 2023 Big Ten Coach of the Year, as like, the interim who then got the tag taken off.
Yeah. I like David Braun.
As do
I
I.
think he's a good coach.
I like their defensive coordinator. I like that they have like the weird, September they'll have the home field advantage in the windy lakeside situation. And then hopefully the new stadium gives them a home field advantage. But as you mentioned, those big games are on the road. I have them at 6-6. I think they are a bowl program who upgraded an offensive coordinator. And when they are playing teams that are not of, those big three quality, Northwestern can win games against their non-conference portion of their schedule, which includes Colorado at home, Lakefront, Martin Stadium.
Yep.
They have Penn State at home in the opener, so there's going to be a ton of emotion there. I think it's Ball State the week after that. Michigan State on the road, so you have the Pat Fitzgerald emotion tied to that. They host Rutgers, and they play Minnesota late in the year, but that's a sandwich game for Minnesota between Penn State on the road and the Axe game on the road.
Yeah.
Northwestern can be that feisty, annoying loss for some of these teams.
I've got them at a feisty 6-6.
Yeah.
Is what I wrote down here.
We agree.
I think they're going to be really interesting on offense. And I say that regardless of whether it works or not. It's
you
just
know who
gonna
their
be
backup
interesting.
quarterback is, right? It's Nico Marchiol from West Virginia.
That's right.
Look, say what you will. I looked at a couple of the backup quarterback situations across the Big Ten. Like, if Rocco Becht goes down, it's real bad for Penn State. It seems. Like, it wasn't a... I don't want to pick on Penn State because I actually like Penn State. But you look at a couple of the situations.
You don't like Penn. You've already established
I
the fact
said
that you
8-4,
don't
9-3.
Get out of here.
I'm just not in love with them, Ty.
You
Anyway,
did it under duress. I can see your eyes.
If Aidan Chiles, who was benched last year, does not work out, they have a viable second option. Northwestern does. That's all. Thanks for watching, and thank you for at least considering subscribing to the channel. It means a ton.